marks will be curved. Underneath here I'm going to show you a different technique, and this is just using texture, and we want a really nice thick texture, so I might change the colour quality here as well so you can see the difference. And I'm going to work a little bit faster. I'm going to start, and I'm using a flat brush for this because I want this type of texture, these types of marks, which you'll see present in somebody's work like Andrew Salgado's. And I want all my colours to start to interlink, and I want lots of contrast. I'm going to move this, and the thing with this is you can make lots of different marks, but you want the overarching flow and movement of those marks to meet the form. So here you can see the overarching flow is going to be curves like this, and all of these marks will combine to create that, and I can have real contrast in, and that's absolutely fine. I can have elements of unnatural colours in. I'm going to show you that in a second, like the really yellowy colours. And that's fine as long as we're getting the right overall tone, so that's the predominant tone, and the right overall movement, again the one that's overarching. So lots of little marks tend to lead to make one big movement like so. So you can see these all sweeping this way like this, and that's one way to make texture. And with this you can have a little bit more of the paper showing through. We tend to never want paper showing through when using acrylic, but here it's actually not too bad. We can get away with it a little bit because of the nature of the marks that we're making, but we wouldn't want to see too much of that. And then up at the top here I'm going to use texture in a different way, so I'm going to just peel the paint off my brush like this, and I'm going to have it really thick and kind of globular, let's call it. Like so, and when I need to change the tone, I'll add thickness in with that. And again, you can use colours that are a little bit more fleshy, a little bit more unnatural, but you can get lots of variation in with this. There's lots of really versatile ways that you can use acrylic, but yet it remains quite effective. And when you're applying texture, please don't think that that means that you lose any sense of realism or any sense of detail. You shouldn't. You should just be able to keep on applying it and building that surface. And sometimes you'll leave areas to dry so that you can work some texture on, some detail on top of it. But in general, this is so malleable, this paint, so you can just keep on moving it around, keep on working on areas, keep on adapting and changing areas. So now that I've shown you those three techniques, I want you to give it a go yourself. And whilst you're just doing, just starting the task, just starting to get some of those marks in, I'm just going to continue working on this. When I get to the reflection of the eye, just one last thing, I'll just put that on quite thickly, barely touching the paper, and I'll just put that on like that so it's really nice and bold. And then some final touches to the parts that I've done. I'll add some of my really dark areas in just to get that form in. I might add the eyelashes in, but not until I've got the base down. Everything is just a process of building and building and building. And we're definitely pulling in some of the key techniques that we've used with the other ones. Like when I do the eyebrow, I'll put a base down and then I'll use the same mark, similarly as I have with everything else. So please just consider all of your learning and use it holistically. That's how we learn to apply prior knowledge to new techniques, by just thinking back, how did that work? What are the differences between that and this? How can I use this? So the main difference between this and watercolour is that we're not going to use water. It's going to be a lot thicker. There shouldn't be any of areas of transparency, whereas there was when we were using watercolour. Okay, I'm just going to rush ahead now. You can start on the task, and then you'll be able to see my final output in just a second.